Hi, the goal of this video is to get you as much AFK combat XP as possible using my Nightmare Zone method that I've trained over 3 accounts to max melee, magic, and range. I don't want to waste your time, so let's just get right into it. So the method we're here to discuss today is covered by a whole bunch of other YouTubers, and if you want the best version that is out on YouTube right now, in my opinion, you'll want to look up a guy named Spellsey and put NMZ after his name. His videos should be about 10 to 15 minute videos about strength, magic, and range, and something about hitting the 6-hour timer. Let's leave a link to those videos in the description because they're really good and they're worth your time. My video here is more so a commentary conversation to expand on his methods a little bit and just add a little bit of nuance in the terms like using Nightmare Zone to train from 40s to 99. I've trained up like 3 accounts to max melee, range, and magic using these methods, and I'm working on another here, which I'll use as my example account for this video. So first off, I'm not sure if he's mentioned this in the other guides, but that most bosses in the Nightmare Zone are only use Crush, so our gear setups are going to prioritize using Crush defense. I could probably add the video here after saying that, but I'll just run through the things I did to make this account in the order that I did it. So this is the perspective of a brand new account, whether this is for deathmatching, staking, whatever they call it now, money making by camping monsters, or just to get your main up just because you don't want to do Slayer. So as you can see here, my account here has max melee, and it's 80s in the magic and range. I use Nightmare Zone that Spellsey was so kind to construct. Essentially, the strategy is that you would get easy bosses done, dwarf rock cake, and then super combat potions and absorption, so that you would be able to AFK in the Nightmare Zone for 15 to 30 minutes at a time without dying. The main difference between Spellsey's guide and what I'm about to explain is that I'm just going to be as tanky as possible, sacrificing a little bit of XP per hour, so that if I get caught up at work responding to my machine, I can still tank for 30-ish minutes and still not be knocked out of the Nightmare Zone and have to do another reset from my cell phone. So I've done that by unlocking these bosses here. The quest requirements are really simple, and then the other questing I've done just to get the Dwarven Rock Cake. So that here's another quick pro strat for new accounts using this strategy. Depending on what you're going for an account, you could do the bare minimum for quests and unlock this strategy. Then when you go to the Nightmare Zone, you can run over here, and then you can do normal rumbles. You can do a normal rumble just to save yourself 20k per entrance when you do a rumble. So let's just go over my account here and the gear setup for going up the ranks. One of the first things I do is Waterfall Quest to get to early 30 attack and strength levels to start. Then I believe I went to Sand Crabs to get base 40s in my first couple days to get ready for the run. Then when I got to base 40s, I picked up my core package, which I'm wearing here. As you can see, the crush defense is pretty high, which will help take a lot of the bosses, even at level 40. It's not going to be super efficient at AFKable with duty 40s, but essentially it becomes tankier when you're leveling up. Just make sure to check every 10 to 20 minutes. Make sure you eat down and absorb up. Once you hit base 60s, you want to upgrade here to your dragon setup. And as you can see, you had a massive jump in crush defense. When you hit 70 attack, that's when the build really starts to take off. You'll be able to pick up the whip and then use the balance XP with really nice accuracy. And then once you hit 75 defense, you can put on the guardian boots, which will make you a lot more tanky. Extra items that you could use to make you a bit tankier would be the Ring of Suffering versus the Berserker Ring, which is the best in slot crush defense, and then you can imbue it later so that it will double its crush defense. And then optionally too, Root Kite Shield is a lot of crush defense, so it should provide you enough tankiness all the way up to 99, but if you really want to, you can pick up 60 prayer so that you can put on the Spirit Shield and really just get a little bit extra for your crush defense. So the potions that are available here, I recommend combat potions when you're first starting because super combats are really expensive for not that much of a stat boost when you're starting off. Combat potions are really cheap for a slight DPS, which will get you through those early levels pretty fast. Super restores are here as an option because you want to use them to far points when you're doing hard rumbles so that you can start saving up points for absorb potions. Overloads are here. They're decent, they're free. So, but you don't get to AFK with them, but they are a free option, so you could use overlords as well. With full gear, you should be able to hit the nerd timer, aka the 6-hour mark, with relative ease. And if I remember correctly, if you're able to do Nightmare Zone from when you get up from work, when you go to bed, you should be able to put in about 1 million combat experience on your account per day. Don't quote me there, but that's pretty sure from the last time I was doing this, that's about what I was getting. So then I believe that gets you about 99 melees in something like 3.33 weeks if you just did that every day. And it's not that hard. All right. Whoops. I forgot. So these gloves are for 50 defense. Granite gloves. They're just a little bit of an upgrade. It's not that big of a deal. I'll take them off here. Yeah. I guess it's 8. It's 8 crush defense. That's pretty solid. But, you know, that's an early upgrade when you're coming from Rune into Dragon. Then, also, if you want to upgrade to Barrows when you hit 70 defense, that's fine. That's totally up to you. But it does get really expensive repairing it all the time. I didn't do it because I just didn't want to deal with the repair costs, because it adds like over, you know, the few weeks that you're doing this, those costs really start to add up, and it starts to, I don't know, really hurt the AFK-ness for me, because now you have to worry about like more costs and more variables, making it less AFK because there's more to worry about. That's just my mentality. So let's if you're gonna go into Rage or Mage, how I recommend that is to melee up to base 90s first, so that you can be tankier to make up the defense that you're gonna be sacrificing to use range gear. Essentially, range is the same, except for you can't wear a metal chest, or Avas won't be able to pick up your arrows. You'll burn through ammo really quickly. Arrows or bolts, sorry. Here I'm using a dragon crossbow, but if I remember, I used a Dorg crossbow to start. And then bone bolts until I hit rune crossbow and mithril bolts. I'm using a dragon crossbow with broad bolts because this is my brutal black dragon ult. Getting range to 99 with this method comes out to be about 30-40k an hour with these bolts, which is slower than Spellsey's XP rates. But if I remember correctly, he's using Void or something like that, so it's a lot less tanky, so therefore less AFK. As you can see here, though, this is what I'm saying. Like, you have a lot less crush defense. But it's still pretty tanky. Like, you should be able to, like, with base 90, still be able to hold on for a while. It's not as tanky as melee, but it should get you. I'll do a test for you. I'll do a test with everything to let you know how like damage hits you. So then moving on, I have another account set up for Mage here because that account is not ready for Mage. So this is my Mage setup, and essentially use Firebolt with Chaos Gauntlets. Edit me here. I forgot to mention that Chaos Gauntlets, you need family crests to get them. That is how you get family gauntlets, yes. I don't know if that's important, but I just wanted to add that in. Thank you. Okay, so this is going to give you about 40k per hour, I'm pretty sure. This mage setup is super tanky, so this is very easy. It just is expensive because chaos runes do cost quite a bit in comparison to the other two, but it's still super AFK, and it's a lot better than splashing. If you watch Spellsey's guide, it goes over that really well. So let's just do a quick test here so you guys can see how much damage you take. Yo, what up? So we're going to do a quick example with the rock cake and then a couple absorptions. And we're just going to run the timer down for 5 minutes and just see how much damage they're able to do with us without any interaction. So that you guys can get kind of an idea of how long you can go away from your computer with the crush defense. High crush defense, AFK build. And I'll speed this clip up, and then we'll meet back after the 5 minutes is up. Oh yeah, so I have a low frame rate when I'm tabbed off my OSRS because it reduces my RAM usage. So yeah, I'll see you in 5 minutes. Alright, there's 5 minutes and 23 damage. Now, granted, you will take more damage as more time you are gone, but still, you'll have 1,000 health. So it's not like you're going to take crazy amounts of damage. So then, other things I would note is, I guess the other thing I'd note is that you would take a little bit more damage with range gear on. You're going to take more damage with the lower level gear, like the rune and stuff, until you start getting into the 70s. Then you can really AFK. But once you start hitting that 75 plus, that's when you're going to get like more AFK time. Just check back, you know, every 5 minutes, then every 10 minutes when you're comfortable, then every 15 minutes when you're comfortable. You'll figure it out. After, you know, it'll only take you like 1 day to figure out what is the time window to go for. So this is a really good strategy overall, and I do think it is the best strategy for training combat overall, considering the effort you're putting in versus the return you're getting in terms of experience. Yes, we can all agree there's high effort combat training skills that would generate a lot more valuable time spent and larger XP per hour, and even gold per hour. The utility of this method, though, is that you can very obviously do this training while real-life obligations get in your way, with remote desktop like Google Chrome extension. The Google Chrome remote desktop extension, sorry. Or to train combat on an alt or two while you're doing high effort activities on your main. Again, I'd like to really divert any traffic to the OG who put this method on for how to get Google Chrome remote desktop, so I can keep the focus here as like an addition for the stuff that I think will add value to the original method. I think that kind of covers it all, so I guess subscribe or don't. Have a nice day.